Coming up on the Branding Deep Dive podcast.
Few are the companies which are closing the customer feedback loop. So they get money, and that's the common growth flywheel. You get money, you acquire customers, you sell them the products, you make money. With those money, you acquire more customers, and that's a flywheel. Yeah, you acquire customers, they buy your products, you get more stock, you sell more products, and that's the common one. But the advanced flywheel is you acquire customers, you ask them what they've loved about your products and your services, you fix what's broken, you improve the product assortment, you improve the customer experience. They come back, they buy again, and they are so happy about it that they amplify your brand, they become your promoters, and they have the word of mouth, which is bringing you more customers. So the second flywheel is the one that we should be all focusing on, because if you don't know if something is broken, you will continue to throw money on ads to acquire customers that never come back. And the first flywheel is not working anymore. I mean, let's face it, most of the companies are struggling right now to be profitable, not to grow like it's 2021 post-pandemic.
This is Ahmed Shima, and welcome to the Branding Deep Dive podcast. If you're new here, this is a podcast where we have in-depth discussions with founders, marketers, and brand strategists on how to build a brand that people love. Today, we're talking to Valentin Radu. Valentin is a customer value optimization evangelist and international speaker, defining a new category and helping retailers grow. He's a CEO and founder of Omniconvert. Omniconvert helps e-commerce companies find hidden gems in their data, improve customer lifetime value and customer retention, and deliver personalized customer experiences across all channels. He's also written a book about customer lifetime value called the CLV Revolution, coming out on September 20th. In this episode, we dive deep into what customer lifetime value and customer value optimization is, why the old methods of spending unlimited money on customer acquisition does not work anymore, how to actually improve your customer lifetime value, and much, much more. If you have customers but can't figure out how to make a profit, this episode is a must listen. Now, here's Valentin. Let's start with, I think one of the things that we see on Omniconvert and CVO Academy is this concept of CVO. I know myself and a lot of the audience may not be familiar what CVO is. Can we start with that? Like, what is CVO? And for business owners, why is it important to be thinking about this and be focused on this?
Yeah. So CVO stands for Customer Value Optimization. The problem that I had personally in my business, because I'm a former e-commerce entrepreneur myself, and the problem that most of the market is facing right now is the surging acquisition costs. So that means it's way too expensive to acquire customers that never come back. And the process to optimize for customer lifetime value, it's based on, it's called CVO, right? So basically, the consciously made effort and process towards improving the customer lifetime value, it's called customer value optimization. And the problem that it's addressing is the fact that few companies are profitable, and customer lifetime value is the main path towards profitability. So basically, it's the balance between how much you are getting from a customer and how much you are spending to acquire that customer. So to improve the CLV to CAC ratio, you must do customer value optimization.
If you're someone that is just new in the e-commerce space, for example, or let's say you even have a brick and mortar space and you're just starting out, how do you know what your customer lifetime value is going to be? Like, how do you know how much a customer will end up spending? Or how, I guess the question is, how do you know how much you can afford to spend on acquiring customers? How do you think through that?
So that's a very legit question, Ahmed. And so let's suppose that you have a cake shop, right? So you have a real life cake shop. You are selling sweets and all that thing that are harming our teeth and our kids, right? So if you have that cake shop, you have one-time customers that come only once, and you have multiple times customers. So you have loyal customers that I'm buying an anniversary cake, and in 1 week I'm going there because I want to get something sweet because I have some friends invited over the dinner and whatever. So in order to calculate customer lifetime value, you need to know how many purchases each customer is making and how much they are spending on you on your store. So to do that, you can do things to have identifiable customers. So that's the first step. Unless you have a way to, let's say, persuade, bribe, convince your customers to give you their details, in order to know how many individual customers you have, you can't calculate customer lifetime value. What you can do, though, you can use some AI type of face recognition. If you're not in a GDPR country and in your bricks and mortar, you can simply calculate and get that data. Like you have 200 individual customers and you have 250 orders. So in that particular period, you can state that one customer bought 1.2 times, and that's the purchase frequency to calculate that. So mainly, that's how you calculate customer lifetime value. You need the purchase frequency, you need the gross margin, and you need the customer retention rate to calculate that. So with the customer retention rate, you will be able to understand what is the lifespan of the customer. So that means for how long can you expect a customer to come back and buy again? But if you are at the beginning of the life of your store, then you don't have this historical data. But mainly, you will have a predictive model that's not going to be that accurate. Let's say you've just launched in 2-3 months. However, if you know the purchase frequency, the average purchase frequency in your vertical, then you can come up with the financial model that takes into account that, and you can forecast how many customers will I get in the next 6 months? How much have I spent to acquire those customers? So what's the lifetime value of that customer, and what is the customer acquisition cost? So basically, you look at how much you've spent to acquire those customers, and one trap that many small business owners are falling into is that they disregard their own costs, right? So they think that those customers are coming despite their efforts, but they are acting like a marketing manager, like a sales rep, you name it. Yeah. So you need to count not only the media cost, not only the ad costs, because you might have an e-commerce, for instance. So you should be taking into account all the costs that you're paying, even let's say the overheads that you are paying, the agency fees, so that you find the customer acquisition cost. I hope that is not so simple, but once you get it, it's pure math, right? It's like how much you've got from a customer and how much you've paid for that customer. And that's how you know how to overspend or underspend. Because, for instance, we have the model, Amazon overspent like crazy with the hope to become profitable in 10, 15, 20 years. And there you go. They've acquired customers that were not profitable in their first purchase, but down the line, the rest is history, right?
I saw somewhere like, lifetime value of like Netflix is they calculated over like 7 years. What you're bringing up is really important for, business owners to understand, because if you don't factor in this long-term value, then you're going to make short-term decisions that negatively impact your business and your customers, right? So you may push away customers that could have been lifetime customers for 7, 8, right. 10, 20 years. Super, super important. Is this like, I'm assuming this is stuff that you go in depth in CBO Academy. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Besides calculating it, and that's doable, right? I mean, anyone can at some point extract the data. That's the, let's say, easy part. Yeah, we also have a tool which is doing this automatically. So for most companies, it's a done deal. Now, as anything in life, is not only the diagnosis of how things are going, right? So it's not the single snapshot of, hey, our lifetime value is $240. What's important is the trend going up or down? Yeah, because if the trend is going up, kudos to you. But if it's going down, you need to do something about it. So that means you have to optimize it. So it's not only collecting the data, which is crucial, right? I mean, if you don't know your blood pressure, if you don't know your sugar level, if you don't know, I don't know, those things that show if you're healthy or not, you can't fix what you don't know is broken. But once you know what is broken, then it's about the optimization phase. And in the CVO Academy, we have eight heavy hitters in this space of customer experience, acquisition campaigns, email marketing, customer behavior, all those things that are teaching companies and business owners and agency providers on how to improve the customer lifetime value. And the process of CVO is basically a proven method. You start with the customer analysis, you go with the research, you continue with the customer journey mapping, and then you end up with the 3 pillars of customer value optimization, which is basically, and it's pretty simple if you think about it, Ahmed. What you sell, what products are you selling? If you sell crap, don't expect to get gold out of the customers, right? The second pillar is what you do, which is the customer experience. And the third is what you say, which is the marketing, how you are persuading customers, how you are setting expectations to them, and how you are exceeding or not their expectations. So that's in a nutshell the CVO method.
What are some things that a lot of businesses are not doing so well with their customer value optimization? What are some common optimizations that they can do? I know you mentioned the 3 pillars, right? What you sell, what you do, what you say. But like specifically, what are like kind of some common pitfalls or some common things that you see, that some tweaks that maybe our business owners can make quickly to increase that customer lifetime value?
Yeah. So the first one and the obvious one is to get customer feedback on what you're selling. Few are the companies which are closing the customer feedback loop. So they get money, and that's the common growth flywheel. You get money, you acquire customers, you sell them the products, you make money. With those money, you acquire more customers, and that's a flywheel. Yeah, you acquire customers, they buy your products, you get more stock, you sell more products, and that's the common one. But the advanced flywheel is you acquire customers. You ask them what they've loved about your products and your services. You fix what's broken. You improve the product assortment. You improve the customer experience. They come back, they buy again, and they are so happy about it that they amplify your brand. They become your promoters, and they have the word of mouth, which is bringing you more customers. So the second flywheel is the one that we should be all focusing on, because if you don't know if something is broken, you will continue to throw money on ads to acquire customers that never come back. And the first flywheel is not working anymore. I mean, let's face it, most of the companies are struggling right now to be profitable, not to grow like it's 2021 post-pandemic.
What you're saying is the first level of data, or the first level of kind of understanding your customers, is just that, cost of acquisition. But then the next level is like really getting feedback, talking to them, and understanding what works well, what doesn't work well, and then improving that process. When you actually close that feedback loop, turns your customers into brand ambassadors, and people that will go out and really like word of mouth will spread from that. I want to get into Omniconvert. So what is Omniconvert? Can you give the audience a brief overview of what you do at Omniconvert?
Yeah. So initially, we've started off as a conversion rate optimization platform. Yeah, I was a former e-commerce entrepreneur. I've made my own e-commerce. We've incubated a product to change the website, to launch surveys, to do overlays with personalized content based on their IP, based on the weather conditions. So, and that was 2012. And thanks to my findings and the insights and those experiments, we've increased the conversion rate by 60%. That's 60. So for our business was amazing. And after that, I've said, okay, let's build another business with this technology that we've incubated. And that's how we've started Omniconvert back in 2014. So we have now let's say that was the ancestor of what we have right now. So now we have a technology which is empowering any company, not only e-commerce companies, to change their website, to experiment on their websites, to launch surveys, to do A/B testing, and to personalize the content in order to convert more. And that's one product called Omniconvert Explore. The other product, which we've launched back in 2019, we've incubated here, and we've decided after a few interviews with our customers, we realized that, hey, we are losing a lot of customers and conversion rate is not growing anymore. So no matter what we were doing in terms of testing, we couldn't move the needle. So we've applied this RFM segmentation. We've segmented the customers according to recency, their frequency, and their monetary value. So now we are using Omniconvert Reveal to segment customers, to track customer experience by product, category, customer segment, location, employee, who touched the order of those customers. And that's helping companies to become customer centric and engage their customers differently across different channels. So that's what Omniconvert does at this moment. We are helping hundreds of companies over the world to improve their lifetime value and conversion rate.
CVO Academy is part of Omniconvert? Like, is that a marketing?
It's our education initiative. It's not about teaching people how to use our products. It's about teaching people how to improve customer lifetime value. So we have around 20 hours of content in the CVO Academy, and it's like a mini degree on improving customer lifetime value for e-commerce, retailers, bricks and mortar stores.
How did you get into like this whole concept of, I know you were in e-commerce, and it sounds like you were actually just tweaking, your landing pages and kind of understanding from there. But like, if you could just walk us through, like, how did you discover this concept of CVO and customer lifetime value? Like, I think it's not something that I've seen at least talked about a lot. Like, there's a lot of like e-commerce people on YouTube and, even podcasts and stuff. I don't think it's talked about enough. So how did you kind of come across this?
Yeah. So Ahmed, it was back in 2011. I was struggling to make ends meet with our business, and we weren't profitable. We were spending a lot of money on Google Ads. And I was starting to ask myself if we actually have a business, even though we were making at that moment something like 7-8 million in annual turnover. But the profit wasn't there. So I was not paying I couldn't afford to pay myself quite well. So I've started to research on what can be done, and I've realized that I don't know my customers. I don't know how much they were spending. And I stumbled upon an article on Harvard Business Review about customer lifetime value, and that was 2011. It was a very well-written article which reminded me that, hey, customer retention rate, customer lifetime value is actually important, because if customers will come back, they will buy more, then that means I'm not going to pay again to Google AdWords. I'm not going to beg them to bring me more customers. So I've made this analysis on our own customer database to see which are our best customers, because any company has very loyal customers and very good customers, and not so good and very, toxic customers. When you pay $100 to acquire a customer, that brings you $30 in margin. And usually any company has toxic customers. And I'm not stating that they are not good. They are good because they are covering some part of the revenue. But what if we could know which are our best customers? In our case, I was selling online car insurance, and we realized that our best customers were truck drivers, because their insurance was like 12 times more expensive than the average insurance, and luxury car owners. And they were not so many in terms of how many they were. There were like 30% of them, but they were generating 65% of the margin. So basically $65 out of 100 were being brought by these luxury car owners and truck drivers. So we've changed our advertising. We've started to do this A/B testing on the website, and that made us leapfrog from 7 million to 14 million in turnover in 1.5 years since that. And basically that's how I stumbled upon this. And the second moment was when I've observed how our customers were struggling, even though they had a good conversion rate, they weren't profitable. And we've started to look at how can we understand how to make this company profitable. And customer lifetime value is the sure path to profitability.
You mentioned recency, frequency, monetary. Can we talk about this concept?
Back in the 70s, to give you the full story, Ahmed, so back in the 70s, the direct marketers were spending a lot of money to send these mailers to their customers. Mm-hmm. And they realized that some customers are gone forever. So they came up with this method to segment customers according to their recency, their frequency, and their monetary value. Because if you give scores to your customer base, let's say you have 1,000 customers, 50 of them would be having high recency, high frequency, high monetary value. I'm not stating that 5% of all the customers from all the types of businesses. I'm just stating for the sake of the model, of the example. So you have 5% of them will have high recency scores, meaning they've bought really recently. 5% of them would also have high recency and high frequency. Let's say they've ordered 5 times plus from your store, right? And then you have other customers which the same customers that also have a high monetary value. So those are your best customers, the ones which are active, they bought a lot, and they've placed a lot of orders. And then you have different type of groups like low recency, high frequency, high monetary value. Because if you give these scores, any customer can have a single score at the same time on recency, frequency, and monetary. So the combinations is what makes the magic happen. Because if you have X loyal customers, they would be having the lowest recency score, so they've placed their last order 2 years ago, but the highest frequency and the highest monetary scores. And those are the ex-lovers, as we call them in our software, right? Ex-lovers because they used to be lovers. But you also have Don Juans, right? One-night standers. They have low recency, low frequency, but high monetary value. So they've placed only a single order a lot of time before, and now they are gone. And you have also new passions, high recency. They've just started to buy. The lowest frequency score because they placed a single order. However, they are among the best in terms of monetary value. So basically imagine having someone that on a scale from 1 to 3, for the sake of example, where 3 is the best score. If you have a customer with 3, 1, and 3, that means you have a new passion, and you have to take care of that customer way more than you would be taking care about a 3, 1, 1, which is high recency, low frequency, low monetary value. They've just started, but they are quite cheap. Maybe they are over there to buy to get some bargains and something like that.
Can we go through an example of a business of these different categories and how you would kind of tailor conversion and tailor the messaging or to each category?
Yeah, for sure. So now that we have the segments outlined, you have new passions and apprentice. They've just started. Some apprentice are new customers, new low value customers, new high value customers, the new passions. Now, after 30, 60, 90 days, some of them will buy again, and those will turn into lovers or even soulmates. If you have someone that on the cake shop, I'm starting just to buy a small cake for my, I don't know, I want to treat myself because I had a hard day at work. And then it's my birthday. So I love that cake, and I go out there and I order a big anniversary cake because I'm inviting all my ex-colleagues, even though some of them will not show up. But I'm also inviting my friends, so I have a big anniversary cake. And then I'm getting into the habit of buying every week. I'm bringing cakes to my parents because they are old, and I want to give them a surprise, and I pay for what they've made for me because without them, I wouldn't be where I am. Let's say I'm that kind of person, which basically I try to be. Not the sad part, thank God I have a lot of friends. But if I'm in this category, I'm becoming a soulmate pretty accelerated, right? Because I have this kind of score. But what if I wouldn't be remembering that I have this option when it comes to my anniversary? What if the cake shop's owner is so smart that it's asking me, you know what, can you give us your birthday? Because we have this campaign and we want to make people's life better and we love to bring joy in people's life. So give us your birthday because we have these campaigns when it comes to your anniversary. And I'm passing my email address and my anniversary, my birthday, when is my birthday, and the cake shop owner 2 weeks before states, hey, Valentin, your anniversary is approaching very fast. What if you would be choosing from this, and that anniversary cake with a complimentary $10 voucher on us because you visited us in the past? So basically, it's how the store owner, the shop owner is treating me, because that's the trigger. And he's identifying that throughout the customer lifetime value, there is a moment when you can have higher sales. So basically, it's a matter of onboarding. That type of CVO campaign, it's called the onboarding. No matter what someone bought at the initial phase, you need to understand who are your best customers. And if that shop owner is smart, he would be getting through our CVO Academy. So he would be learning that you need to look at what are your best customers doing? What are your soulmates doing? And he would be identifying they are buying freaking anniversary cakes. And then he would come with this idea that I've just shared with you. So that's how this model works. And this RFM model allows them to see when is the moment to turn this customer from a apprentice into a soulmate. Yeah, he's identifying the pattern and he's using his channels. Maybe he picks up the phone or sends an email and whatever.
So in Omniconvert Reveal, like when a customer like transitions from apprentice to soulmate, it's being tracked in there, so you can see that this customer is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything is being made automatically. So when you can connect this with your email marketing system, you can connect it with your website, you can connect it with your CRM, so that you call those customers which are about to churn, because you can also identify when the chances to place another order are at the lowest, so that you prevent churn. And that's another type of campaign that I don't know. You have, let's say, you have a restaurant and you have a customer which is in the buying habit, right? He's getting having dinner every 3-4 weeks from you, and then you have 2 months where he hasn't showed up. So after 1 month, you proactively go out there. So now we are living in these times, Ahmed, where the customer experience should be way up and above. So we should exceed the expectations. We can't just meet the expectations. So this type of initiatives, and I'm describing everything in my book about it. So I have it right here, right? So basically, that's my book. Is going to be launched on the 20th of September, and it's everything over here with a lot of all these mechanisms, all these recipes, right? So basically, it's a proven method that anyone can apply, because we are all trapped into the old belief that everything that we have to do is to pay money on Facebook and Google Ads. And that's not working anymore. I mean, we should be getting out of this mass hypnosis, right? It's that and better customer experience, better follow-up, more tailored messages, personalized approach, and stuff like that.
In the beginning of like any market, maybe just spending money on ads might work. But as the market gets more sophisticated, as there more competition comes out, you have to really invest in the CLV Revolution, as Valentin puts it, and like make sure that the customers are they have all these options, and you have to make sure that you stay top of mind and you have more value that you're providing throughout the entire journey. So in terms of the book, it's coming out, you said September 20th?
Yes, exactly. It's going to be launched then. And anyone that wants to have a preview of it, they can read the first chapter on theclvrevolution.com, or they can pre-order it over there at a special price.
Awesome. We'll leave the link in the description. And then for the audience that wants to keep up with you and see what you're up to and follow along the journey, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, Ahmed, and I wanna say something to everyone which is listening right now. So that something is that I'm an ex-poor kid. So my self-esteem was so low, and all I've managed to do in this life was thanks to being curious and being, let's say, open to other people. So if you think that I can help you out, if you think that you are struggling with your business, I've had this. And I'm grateful for all the people that I've let's say persuaded to help me out in my journey. So if you think I can be of help, write me on LinkedIn. It's Valentin Radu. You can find me over there. I'm not going to be the most responsive person on this planet, but I can promise that I will get back to you. So if you have a specific thing that you maybe have a small business or a bigger business or whatever, so let me know. And another thing that I want to share with you, you can make it. I mean, it's a mental game. So if you're an entrepreneur and if you're feeling stuck or struggling with the P&L, the cash flow, the whatever, it's all in your mind. I mean, if you really want it and if you learn about it and if you change how you experiment, you will make it. And I can guarantee that because I felt stuck and I felt like I'm going crazy for multiple times in my existence. But thank God I'm here. I've discovered a lot of things and I've been able to bring undeniable value in the lives of my customers. So if you respect this principle as well, provide undeniable value in the lives of your customers, then you will find you will find a way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Valentin. Now, as always, I have my key takeaways from this episode, but before we get into that, I want to share a clip from our discussion with Lauren D'Souza on customer retention secrets.
It's so much more than that. It's actually the whole experience from start to finish, from the first time that they buy from you all the way till them telling somebody else about your brand, coming back for more, thinking of you in their first option for what they might purchase next. There are so many different aspects to retention, but it's really under this experience of engaging the customer time and time again. A lot of companies focus on acquisition, and that's great. Obviously, you want to bring in new customers. You want to bring in people that are going to be new clients to your business. However, they forget about the aspect of what happens after they purchase. They just automatically assume that they're going to stay. They're going to keep coming back. If it's a great product, then sure, they'll stay. And while a great product might do that, it's really important in this day and age when there's so much competition, there's so much saturation in different markets, depending on which industry that you're in, that you need to find something unique and interesting to engage that customer time and time again and keep them coming back for more.
If you enjoyed this discussion with Valentin, I am sure you'll also enjoy the episode with Lauren. Check it out wherever you're listening to this podcast. It is episode number 58. Now, here are my key takeaways. Number 1, it's not enough to simply know your customer acquisition cost. Acquisition costs will always go up. In order to run a truly profitable business, you need to understand how to maximize customer lifetime value. And number 2, customer value optimization is about understanding who your customers are and why they purchase your products. Understanding this allows you to take customers from apprentice to soulmate. And that is all for this episode. If you enjoyed this discussion, the easiest way to help out is to go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're really pushing to grow this channel right now. We have shorter case study videos and it doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next episode.